I have received multiple questions from many of you, which is related to ECC and S4 HANA. Now, when it comes to SAP ECC and S4 HANA, so you might be aware about there are two different segments are coming. So many of the students who are not aware about ECC and S4 HANA, they want to know more details on what exactly ECC is, what exactly S4 HANA is, and how they are differentiate in case they want to groom their career in ECC or HANA, which one should they choose, and moreover, what are the basic difference when it comes to SAP ECC versus SAP S4 HANA? So I have come up with this video, which will give you insights of SAP ECC and SAP S4 HANA. I hope this video will be very informative, and this will give you enough information to choose and gives you the right direction to go ahead. I hope this video will be that much uh, the insights to be covered. So before that, my name is Suket Sajeva. I have been into the market from last 16 years, and you can connect with me on LinkedIn. From last 3 to 4 years, I'm doing SAP solutioning, consultation, trainings, certification, global certifications, and authorized education. So let's proceed with SAP ECC and S4 HANA. Before that, just 2 minutes to give on what exactly SAP is for the one who are very new to SAP. So when it comes to SAP, SAP is the biggest ERP in the world. There are more than 20,000 ERPs in the world, and SAP is the number one in supply chain management, logistic management, human resource management, or it can be a financial management. So when it comes to the business automation, to handling the business solution, SAP is the biggest. SAP is playing the biggest role. So if you talk about detail in SAP, SAP is a German-based company which was inaugurated by five ex-IBMer friends in 1972. It's been 52 years. They are global leader. They have huge potential, and they are serving many industries in the vertical. If you see a detailed version of SAP, what exactly the background history of SAP, I have covered the SAP, the detailing and where it all is applied, what all the values addition is there, what are the different modules and everything. I have covered in this particular video. You can just click on the link so that you can reach out to that video. Please do watch if you want to have inside knowledge of SAP. So just with that beginning, SAP is the biggest ERP in the world, which is sorting out many of the business problematic area of different industries. It can be a pharmaceutical industries or auto component industries, auto manufacture, supply chain management, or any segment. They are having the solutions ready. So now, when SAP was emerging from 1972 till 2024. So it's been 52 years. So they have come up with a different layered architecture. Initially, it was divided between R1, R2, R3, and then laterally R3 was like a presentation layer, database layer, and application layer, which has emerges, which was used in the version of ECC. So in 90s, they introduced the ECC version, which was based on R3 architecture only. So SAP introduces ECC. ECC was like ERP central component. Okay, so when we say ERP central component, so they have a very different feature rich software for handling the business problematic area and to handle those kind of problems. So it was very easy using ECC to handle those kind of scenarios. So later on in 2015, I guess, yes. So 2015, they introduces the another version, which was S4 HANA. Now, what are the different basic, you can say the differences, or why there was a need of ECC to S4 HANA? So let's come up with that in next slides. So in 2015, when they introduces S4 HANA, you can see this was a flagship ERP software, and it was the later version, but still many companies who started SAP as the ERP backbone from 1972 till 2015, so they were still using ECC. Now there are still companies who are running on SAP ECC. There are companies who are running on SAP S4 HANA. So SAP was in saying they are discontinuing the support and the previous version like ECC. So you have to jump down to S4 HANA. So these kind of statements has emerged by SAP, so that everybody has to be come up with that S4 HANA solutions, and they know what exactly S4 HANA. They use their features, and so that the things can be applied on. Now, there is a statement from SAP directly that by 2027, SAP will no longer maintain ECC. So they will be discontinuing the support. So what exactly that means? That means that SAP ECC, the companies who are using, they have to migrate it to the later version, which is SAP S4 HANA. Okay, so let's see what are the basic differences and what are the challenges, what are the benefits using S4 HANA, what were the benefits using ECC. Now, we have broadly seen that SAP is divided into two categories. One is SAP ECC and SAP S4 HANA. Now, when it comes to the detailing, SAP ECC was the previous version, and it was known as ERP central component, which was used to fetch the data, which was used to use the third party APIs like logistic or the finance or HR or any third party APIs to fetch to and fro data, so that it can be used within the SAP system, and it can be feature rich. Whereas when it comes to the S4 HANA, so S4 HANA, they introduces their in-house database solution, whereas the ECC was using the third party databases. Okay, so the in-house database solution, which was HANA, which was, we also says that S4 HANA is majorly into on-premise or cloud-ready solution, and they were using the in-house feature-rich capabilities of S4 HANA, and it is kind of personalized insights, or the processes were integrated in that S4 HANA itself. Now, if you see furthermore detailing, it was they were having interactions which was a little bit complicated in ECC, because you have to use a third party APIs, you have to use third party databases, you have to use a different third party tools to fetch data, to put it into SAP and to showcase. Whereas the in-house SAP was faster than the previous version, and it was also enabled click and go kind of features, where there was no complication in integration. So that is why the SAP introduces S4 HANA, which is you can say the latest generation, or the AI used or machine learning was used in S4 HANA, so that the features can be very easy to imply, very easy to use, and for the user point of view, it was very easy to handle. So that is the basic difference why they introduced it and why they upgraded from ECC to S4 HANA. Now, when they were S4 HANA is there, so the HANA in-house database is there. So that is why they said that now we have to shift the previous versions to the latest version, because they cannot continue the support for the both versions. So you have to upgrade yourself. That is the reason they have mentioned 2027 when it comes to S4 HANA or ECC. Okay, so ECC is going to end the support for SAP is going to end the support for ECC in 2027. One more basic difference, if you see in the different industries, there are more than 19,000 transactions which are used in SAP. Nobody, not even single company uses all the transactions. Okay, so 19,000 different transactions were there, and you are not even using the 50% of the transactions. That means there were many transactions which were not necessary, and they were not needed, and they were just making the system bulky. So that is why when introducing S4 HANA, SAP removed 5,000 transactions from its system, and still 14,000 transactions are there in S4 HANA. Nobody is using that full capacity as well. Okay, so that was the reason. I mean, to remove that kind of junk which was not in use, removing that kind of tables which were not in use. That was also like to making it much more faster. Now let's see the basic differences when it comes to SAP ECC and SAP S4 HANA. We'll see the differences based on the basic differences on the solution side. We'll see the basic differences on the financial side, because most important things are the financial and logistic. So we'll see the third part is the logistic sides on the differences. So let's see on the solution sides what are the basic differences when it comes to SAP ECC and S4 HANA functionality. Now, the first one is, as already mentioned, they will be maintained, the ECC will be maintained by 2027. So that means companies have to move down from ECC to S4 HANA, they have to migrate. Many companies already started. Uh, there was a rough data like there are more than 30,000 companies still running on ECC. They have to migrate it to S4 HANA by 2027. And that is why there are a lot of jobs are coming. So that means if you know the knowledge of ECC, you know the knowledge of S4 HANA, you are a potential candidate who can be in the migration project as well. And where it comes to S4 HANA, so it is giving the promise by 2040. Still, I mean, they will be maintaining till 2040. So it's like long journey ahead when it comes to S4 HANA. Now, ECC was running on different databases. That means if you have the Oracle as a database, you can use the ECC component to fetch data from different this database. Whereas when it comes to S4 HANA, they are using the primarily only as HANA's database. So you cannot use any third-party database when it is S4 HANA. Now, there was a graphical user interface, which was the main design, which can be customized as per the requirement of the customer. Whereas when it comes to the S4 HANA, there is a Fiori, which is introduced and which was customized based on the user requirement. This was the basic difference on the solution sides. Now let's see on the financial side how it impact when ECC was there or S4 HANA was there. S4 HANA is there. On financial side, the main differences were like when it was ECC, the financial data was managed in FI and CO modules, whereas now it has automatically merged into a single table, which is ACDOCA. Okay, so that was the main difference. Then the material ledger activation was optional, whereas it made mandatory in S4 HANA. The COPA, costing-based COPA was default, whereas account-based COPA was default, and both can run together. Credit management was handled by FI, AR, and CR, whereas on the S4 HANA side, the credit management falls under the financial supply chain management system. Let's see on the logistics side how it is making the impact and differences. So there is a customer and vendors when it comes to the logistics side. So customer and vendors are the separate data objects, separate entities, whereas it merged in the later side. That means on S4 HANA, it is a business partner which is having the customers and vendors. So it named as master data, which is business partner. MRP processing is handled during the batch jobs. That means we see that non-peak hours are there, and then only the MRP, the processing was taken place, so that it doesn't impact the real-time operations or real-time information. Whereas on the other hand side, MRP processing is handled in the real time. So that was the main feature in S4 HANA logistic. Logistic planning is also handled via APO solution, whereas SAP S4 HANA SAP APO planning has been replaced by IBP. You might have used this term, you might have listened this term IBP. So that was introduced in SAP S4 HANA. Multiple tables were used to inventory management, whereas on the other hand side, 25 tables were removed. So that means there was an introduction of MATDOC, which is MATDOC. Now, there is multiple more differences on a logistics side. Let's see what more differences were there. So product availability is handled through the available to promise ATP, whereas the product availability is automated with the advanced ATP. The foreign trade functions are handled through SDFT, whereas the foreign trade can be automated use global trade services addition for S4 HANA. Okay, so now you have also heard a term EWM and warehouse management. Whereas in the ECC, it was the warehousing was handled by a warehouse management module. On the later side, it was extended warehouse management, which was introduced, and that is why I think you see a lot of people are choosing EWM after MM, or there is a huge requirement on the US and the European side on EWM, extended warehouse management. Revenue is handled via SD revenue module, and on this side, revenue is handled via S4 HANA revenue accounting and reporting. So these were basic solutions, finance and logistic differences on SAP ECC and S4 HANA. I hope this gives you the insights of what exactly ECC is, what exactly S4 HANA is, and now you can choose what exactly the journey you have to go ahead. Now let's see if any company is migrating from ECC to S4 HANA, what are the potential benefits? In 2021, 72% of the businesses said, this was a data which is fetched from the different sources. So they said that there are benefit when they use S4 HANA. They improved the efficiency, the productivity was improved, satisfaction was improved. Okay, so there was a better integration with S4 HANA products. There was a lower cost, such as the lower operational and ownership cost, so which was decreased, which is also a good point when it comes to S4 HANA migration. A smaller database footprints due to the simplified data models, because multiple tables were removed, multiple entities merged. So that was the reason, the smaller footprint, and which was easy to handle as well and easy to understand. Automated processes improving the productivity and performance. Foster more intelligent and decision making, because AI was used, ML used, so multiple things which was latest, like artificial intelligence learning. So these kind of tools, these kind of things were used, introduced, so that the data can be managed, data can be presented, and the financial decision can be very easy for the management level. Overall, it is higher profits. So that was the benefit, that were the benefits which are there when any company migrate from ECC to S4 HANA. And on broader side, if you see this chart, so different the potential benefits, improvements, productivity, or you can say the using S4 HANA, these companies benefited by these kind of things. So that was all from my side. And one more thing, I mean, if you use SAP ECC, so now for knowledge purpose, that is good. But when it comes to the certification side, when it comes to your justification on the training and certification, you cannot have S4 HANA ECC certification, because SAP discontinued or removed ECC certification in December 2022. So now anybody has to go ahead with the certification, they have to choose S4 HANA only. So that is why the latest trending things in S4 HANA. I hope multiple differences were there, and You have seen all of those, and this will gives you inside story of ECC and S4 HANA. And now you can use the right choice for your career. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. You can ping on LinkedIn in case you want to know something more about the detailed topic of anything, any module, or any related to on SAP. You can comment on this particular video, keep liking, and keep motivating me for making such more videos. Thank you.